Oh, yeah. Another Tech Preacher podcast, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. This your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. You know what? AR and VR is here, baby. I remember I reviewed stuff like this in the past, man. So let's get into it, baby. Listen, in this podcast here, I'm going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about regular folks versus tech enthusiasts and why the future is here, but I don't think we seeing it. Like, I don't think we really seeing the future. Like, let's talk about it a little bit, right? Oh, man, let me tell you something, man. I'm hype, I'm happy, and we're going to talk about a little thing. This is Apple Week. The WWDC was a few days ago, and man, we gonna talk about it. WWDC was a few days ago, and they talked about iOS 17. They talked about all kinds of good things, and they also released some new products, the new MacBook Pros, 15 inches. They also released and announced the new studios, right? The Mac Studios and also the Mac Pros for those pro high-level users, right? And listen, man, like Apple or don't like Apple, well, Apple is here to stay. You have some diehard people that will always love what Apple bring to the table. Listen, y'all got to remember who Apple is, right? Let's just talk about this. And this is why I want to talk about the difference between regular and tech enthusiasts, right? Oh, man, I mean, listen, man, after the announcement came out, man, you have two peoples in two different kind of fields. You have people that say, you know, Apple is doing what Apple does, right? It brings out product, and you know, some people like it, some people don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. It's all good if you don't like Apple. It's all good if you don't like Apple practices. It's all good if you're on an Android ecosystem and you look at what Android is doing, and you look at what Apple is doing, and Apple is doing something completely different, you know, from the norm. And that's okay. Listen, man, you got to remember, if you go look at Apple history, Apple have always been an upper echelon premium company. And they never been, you know, this type of company that was always, you know, cheap on the cheap end. But they have changed over the years, right? They've changed over the years. Listen, a lot of these companies break it down into 3 to 4 categories. You have your ultra premium, you have your flagship, you have your budget line. Now, your ultra premium is going to be for the upper echelon tech enthusiasts. The upper people are way up there that's willing to spend a lot of capital, right? That's the upper echelon. That is the premium flagship. Those are going to be the high end of the high ends. Then you get into your mid-range devices, right? Your mid-range devices is right in the middle. You get good performance, good battery life, but you're not getting all the features, and that's okay. But the price is cheaper. Then you get your low-end devices, your budget devices, the one going to be way cheaper, right? You're not going to get all the features. You're not going to get all the functionalities, but hey, you know what? That's okay. It's a fundamental difference between tech enthusiasts and regular degglers. I've been calling, you know, the common folk regular degglers. And the reason why is because, let me tell you something. Some of these products is not for regular degglers. And Apple, Samsung, all these companies know this. They know that nobody not going to spend $2,000 on a foldable. They know this already. They know that you're not going to spend, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars on this product. We know this already. We know that when you talk about product that costs, you know, $1,000, that's out of the price range of the regular degglers. They don't, man. Listen, the regular degglers, if they can't get it on, you know, contracts or device payment plans through their carriers, then if they have to come out of pocket for $2,000 for foldable devices, regular deggler folks are done. They are out. They won't do it. But tech enthusiasts will do it. Because tech enthusiasts love new technology. They embrace new technology. Listen, don't take it from me. Let's ask Google. What's a tech enthusiast? Let's ask Google. Let me turn this down for a second. Tech enthusiasts.
According to PC Mag, A person who loves technology and uses as many digital devices as possible. The terms techie, tech enthusiast, tech fanatic, and tech lover are synonymous.
There you go. So even Google would tell you a tech enthusiast is a tech lover, a person that loves tech, that has multiple tech items. The average consumer, the regular folks, listen, man, they not all into this tech stuff, man. They just want a device and just keep it moving. Listen, you have a lot of regular folks that will rock a device till the wheels fall off. I made videos. This is why I make countless of videos about rocking devices till the wheels fall off. Talking about $300 devices, $200 devices, $400 devices, because that is the regular folks. They feel that they just want to make phone calls, text messages, and maybe pull out their phone and take a few photos and do videos. They're not doing pro mode. They're not, going into deep and using Samsung DeX and using S Pens and all. They're not doing all that. Regular folks are going on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that. They're pulling out their devices. They're taking a photo. They texting, and that's it. They got good battery life, and they good, and it is what it is. Now, it's a fundamental difference when you're talking about on the carriers. Once you get on the carriers, then yes, the lane is open to a lot of people to buy upper echelon stuff when you are at that level, right? So when you are at that level, you can buy upper echelon stuff because it's broken down into payments. But if you have to come up front with that kind of money, I promise you, a lot of regulars will not buy the Pro Maxes and the Galaxy Folds and the high-end echelon stuff because it's all broken down into payments. So it's a fundamental difference between that aspect, right? If you have to come out of pocket for $2,000 up front plus tax, I promise you, a lot of people won't do it. But us tech enthusiasts, we find ways to do it, baby. We look at the technology, we embrace it, we love it. Now, there's a fundamental difference between a true techie and a wannabe techie. A wannabe techie will complain about prices, will complain about this. And listen, there's nothing wrong with holding companies' feet to the fire. If something is expensive, it's expensive. And listen, we call it out for what it is. But listen, I don't want to have people think that they feel that they are wannabe techie because they complain about prices. I complain about prices. When I talk about price is everything, prices is everything. Listen, as we go into, the middle and, latter half of 2023, we got, a lot of devices coming out and we got a lot of things that's going on, right? As far as in the tech industry. And this is WWDC week and Apple released, some tech items, they talked about their new Mac Pros. They talked about, the new MacBook Pros and stuff like that, and they came out with their new Vision Pro, the Apple Vision Pro. Now, this is a AR VR headset that has a lot of technology involved, and you have two people on two sides of the fence. You have people on one side of the fence that say, hey, once they heard about the price, it's automatically no go at $3,500 for them. And then once they see that price, then they go complain about it. Those people, they know they're not going to buy it. They know it's way out of their price range. The first thing they come out and say is, oh my God, Apple's ridiculous. I can't believe this price is that expensive. I mean, no way, no. And this is a product that's dead on arrival. I understand those people. They will instantly, say, hey, this is a dead product. Then you have your tech enthusiasts like myself. We go deep into the product. We look at that, okay, this thing going to have the M2 processor in it, right? And the R1 processor in it with many cameras in here. You have a lot of technology with its own OS in here called Vision OS that's in this product, right? Listen, man, I have a Mac Studio, the M1 Mac Studio, right? And the thing costs, $2,500, almost $3,000. And that's the M1. M1 Mac Studio costs that type of money. Now we talking about the M2, right? So I mean, it is a definitely more powerful chipset, and plus they got two chipsets, and they got the R1 chipset and the M2 chipset in it. Listen, this product is not for everybody. Apple knows this. At $3,500, this is going to be for the elites. This is going to be for the people that have money to burn. This is going to be for the people that don't. They want to, experience this type of technology because it's newer. Now, listen, it's not newer, right? I mean, we've had, VR glasses. I mean, I've made videos about VR glasses, right? I mean, they're okay. The problem with these glasses is once you put your phone in them, and this was my experience with VR glasses. Once I put my phone in them, I had about a good 30 minutes of playtime. The phone got overheated and it's done. Think about this, right? This is one of the reasons why Samsung kind of got out of it, because it couldn't sustain the thermals. As it was doing VR, I mean, you had a good 30, 35 minutes of playtime. That's it, 30, 35 minutes of playtime. The battery ran down very fast. If you plug up the cord to the device to try to charge as you play with the VR, the problem was the overheating was so bad. It was not sustainable. You got maybe 30, 35 minutes of play out of these devices. You're not getting hours and hours and hours of playtime on it. And that was on the Samsung VRs, right? And obviously, you got different VRs, different, Oculus and stuff like that does things differently. But now, what Apple's bringing to the table is a little different, right? I mean, they can control the thermals because the battery pack is not in the glasses itself. It's going to be it's going to be extension going to the product, going to a battery pack. Now, listen, man, I want y'all to understand this. This is a first generation product. And listen, this is the same thing I criticize with the Pixel Fold. First generation, that means that this is a beta type of testing. This is going to be new. Listen, man, you can say what you want. This is a first generation from Apple. Now, even though they might have put many years of, R&D in it, they might have put many years of this in it, many years of that. At the end of the day, it's still a first generation product. Now, is it DOA? Listen, you got Apple people that's loyal to the company, man. They will get this thing. Without a doubt, man, a lot of people that's the high-end echelon people, they go buy it no matter what. It's Apple, folks. Y'all got to understand. You got to remember, Apple was selling the wheels, right, for they monitors for $1,000, man. They were selling the towel for like $20, man. Come on, man, the little cloth for $20, and they sold out. So we're talking about Apple people here, man. We're not talking about no, Android people that we got choice, right? If you're in the Android ecosystem, if something too expensive, you just go with another brand, another company. You don't have to go with Samsung. You could go with Motorola, save half the money. You could go with, other companies. You got choice. Listen, in the Apple ecosystem, if you are in that ecosystem, either you go be with Apple or you go on Android. And a lot of people that's on the Apple ecosystem ain't going to Android. Think about this. Listen, let me make sure I understand. Let me be very clear with this. Die-hard Apple people will never go to Android people. A lot of people believe that there's going to be a lot of people that's going to leave Apple and go to Android. Apple people will not go to Android. They will stay on Apple, right? Regular folks ain't going to Android. I tried to switch people over to Android. I tried it, and they refuse to go to Android. They like what Android is doing. They love the Galaxy Fold. They love the S23. They love it. They absolutely love it. But at the end of the day, they go back to Apple. So when you have your diehard Apple people, man, they ain't worrying about what y'all saying in the Android sphere. They don't care about all that. All they worrying about is, hey, listen, if I got this AR vision glasses on, a lot of people ain't gonna have it. That means I'm gonna be the first at it. I'm gonna be, it's a lot of things involved. Now, let's talk about the price. The price is everything. The price is $3,500. And a lot of people shell shocked, like, oh my God, I can't believe that Apple is selling this thing for over $3,000. Listen, man, Apple sell $10,000 computers, man. They sell, $1,500 smartphones, man. They sell $1,000 wheels. They sell a $20 cloth. And listen, they monitors, it's $6,000 monitors. They have $6,000 monitors, man. So wait a minute, hold up. The Apple Pro displays, right? The high-end Pro displays is $6,000, man. What y'all talking about? But you thought Apple go sell it for $599? You thought Apple go sell it for $19.99? You thought Apple was going to sell it for $9.99? I mean, come on, man. Listen, man. When we heard the rumor that Apple's going to come out with the AR, VR glasses, we knew it was going to be expensive. We knew it was going to be upper echelon of over $2,000. We knew this already. This ain't nothing. I was not surprised. It's nothing. So you got two things you could do. Either you go embrace that Apple is doing what they're doing and keep it moving and don't complain about it. Just keep it rolling, or you're going to buy it. That's it. Listen, we complain about the Pixel Fold. And listen, I complain about the Pixel Fold, right? And I got videos out and I've talked about this. And listen, I'm embracing the Pixel Fold for two reasons. One reason why I'm embracing the Pixel Fold is because in the Android ecosystem, we need competition in the United States. Right now, if you are abroad, international, you have options. In the United States, Samsung dominates. So I need the Pixel Fold to come in the United States because I want competition. Now, whether or not Samsung don't look at it that way, whether or not a lot of tech enthusiasts don't look at it that way, a lot of people may not look at it that way. I believe that if Google do their due diligence, do it right, then they can make a dent in the market. I believe that. So I'm embracing the Pixel Fold. Now, listen, is it too high for a first generation? Of course it is. Listen. We talked about this, but listen, this price though, it's all on what the company believe that it need to be priced, right? Listen, it is what it is. I will encourage that if you don't want to pay almost $2,000 for the Pixel Fold, just wait 5 months, wait 2 months, wait 3 months, and watch the price drop. Wait till your targeted price and then buy it at your targeted price. You don't have to be the first to get the product in hand. Listen, I have, God, I don't know, about 10 foldables, right? I'm sorry, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 foldables. I got a couple of devices with dual displays. So I have experience in foldables. So, I mean, I got all the pixels, so I know the Pixel software. I already know how that is. I know the look and feel of the Pixel software. So, as a person that have experienced the Pixel ecosystem and experienced foldables, I can almost come to a gist on how good or how bad the Pixel Fold will be. But we don't know because it's not out yet. But for $2,000, you don't have to buy it when it come out. You just have to wait. Now, on the Apple ecosystem, this thing is $3,500. I doubt very, very serious that it would drop in price because Apple product hold a value. It's a total different in the Android ecosystem versus the Apple ecosystem. Android ecosystem, things dip quick. So listen, the value of a device in the Android ecosystem is totally different from the Apple ecosystem. Android devices drop drastically. They will drop in price like no other. I mean, listen, I've seen Galaxy S22s and 21s. I've seen 21s for under $500. I've seen 20, and we talk about ultras. We talk about $1,200 phones when they came out, and they under $400. Listen, that's what I'm talking about, right? So when we talk about devices of that caliber, of that magnitude, that cost under $400, but when it was released, it was $1,300 and $1,400. That lets you know that the fair market value of Android phones is not that great. It never been that great. It never was that great. So if you want to buy into the Android ecosystem, you have choice and you have prices, right? You could always buy a flagship of last year for half the price in the Android ecosystem, and you're not missing too much. Listen, a lot of people talk about going from the S22 to the S23. You get drastic differences. I have the S22 and I have the S23 Ultra, and the only thing that I'm getting is a slight better and battery life. Listen, man, people can say what they want. Battery life is the only thing that I feel that I'm getting better, and I'm talking about maybe about an hour, maybe hour and a half difference in battery life compared to the S22. So if you could deal with the battery life, then you can buy S22 Ultra for, cheap. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you go to my website, www.easycomputersolutions.com, I have a market in there, a Amazon market that have the cheapest prices out there. All you have to do is go in there and check it out. All right. So let's talk about it, right? And I've been mentioning the word tech enthusiasts and regular degulars. Tech enthusiasts is deep into tech. They love tech. Now, whether or not you are in the Apple ecosystem or the Android ecosystem, or whatever genre of tech that you're in, tech enthusiasts look for a few things to get them excited. Tech enthusiasts love specs. Listen, man, I don't care what nobody say. The specs for a tech enthusiast, a diehard tech enthusiast, is number one on their list. The second thing is on the list for a tech enthusiast is price, right? So you have specs, price, and the reason why specs and price for a tech enthusiast is so important because they evaluate whether or not they're getting better bang for their buck at that price point. If you buying a device, just say a Galaxy Z Fold 5, right? It is going to have a custom Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor that's clocked higher than every device out there. That means you got the power. It still go come with a beautiful display. It still go come with, the great hinge. You go get better battery life. You got the power, the battery life. You go have, pretty decent cameras and all that stuff like that. So for a tech enthusiast, they look at, okay, this device is going to be $17.99, right? $17.99. Am I getting better bang for my buck? I want the power. Does the power match the price? Does the product match the price? And that's what us tech enthusiasts do. We look at price versus product, right? So think about this. This is one of the reasons why you hear a lot of people complaining about the Pixel Fold as tech enthusiasts, because the specs do not match the price. Right? So that's why you have a difference in opinions when it comes down to tech enthusiasts versus regular degulars. Tech enthusiasts look at, the Tensor G2 processor. When it comes down to raw power, we talk about 2021 specs. Right? When it comes down to benchmark tests and everything else in between, we talk about 2021, 2022 specs, right? We are 6-7 months in of 2023. That means that the device is already a year and a half behind all the devices in 2023. So as a tech enthusiast, specs versus price is very important. This is why people complaining about the Pixel Fold. Now, a lot of people say, well, don't buy. Tech enthusiasts want better bang for their buck. We already know that the device will be powerful. We know that it's going to be well optimized. We know that but tech enthusiasts do things different. They like to play Genshin Impact. They want to play high-end games. They want faster frame rates. They want high-resolution displays. They want, especially when they go pay upper tiers of $2,000 for it. So this is a fair claim, and it's a fair thing that tech enthusiasts can complain about, because if you look at price versus product, it doesn't match. So when you look at the devices like the Pro Maxes on the Apple ecosystem, right, does it match the price? For tech enthusiasts, they believe that they're getting the best, right? You're getting the best of Apple. You're getting the camera setup. You get long battery life. You're in the Apple ecosystem. That means all the apps are fully optimized. You're getting support. Think about this. Support. Apple support outweighs Android support. If you're on Motorola, you can forget about it. If you're on, Samsung, up until 2022, Samsung just got on the bandwagon when Apple been doing support way longer than what Samsung was doing, right? So Samsung just not getting on the bandwagon of 4 and 5 years. Even, think about this. If you go back to even the Pixel 4s and the Pixel 4As and stuff like that, even Google wasn't doing that type of support, right? But now they're getting on the bandwagon. But I mean, Apple has been already on it. They already been supporting devices for many, many years, way longer than Android. So yes, you might be getting cheaper Android devices, but guess what? You didn't get the support. You don't get the updates and stuff like that compared to Apple. So Apple does have a step up on Android. I mean, listen, we got to call it how we see it. We have to call it how we see it. The device, the new VR is going to be $3,400. Very expensive, right? Apple already know that this device is not for the regular degulars. This is going to be for people that have money to burn. This is going to be for the tech enthusiasts. This is going to be for the business owner that want to try something different in the office with their clients or something like that. This is something different, man. The complaint about it is here and there. As a tech enthusiast, you do look at price versus product. The product is not out yet. If you think about it like this, the product ain't gonna come out for about another 9 months. If you wanted to save money, right, you can save about $350 to $400 a month, and you could pay for it. I mean, listen, man. I mean, think about this, right? You save $300 a month, $350 a month times 9 months. You almost there. So if you put a few pennies on the side and save a few $100 a month, you have the capital to buy it. Listen, we talk about this. We know that products is coming out. We know this already. So save your money now. If you want the Galaxy S24 that's coming out in 8 months, 7 months, start saving your money now so you can have the $1,300 or $1,400 to buy this device. Don't complain about it. Save money. If you want it, if you know it's coming, if you a tech enthusiast that want this product, save your cheddar. Now, whether that's going to be good or bad, that's here or there. Listen, the thing got 2 hours of battery life. When I did the regular VR, it was only 30 minutes of battery life, right? 30 minutes of playtime on the regular VRs, we get 2 hours of battery life. So I guess we're moving forward. Is it better? No. If you ever work with these Samsung devices, you already know you was only getting 30 minutes of playtime. You already know you was getting low battery life. Your battery would go last number 20 minutes or 30, 35, or 40 minutes. You already know that already. If you use these. Now, Apple will give you I think they're going to have third-party companies that's going to give you a lot more battery life. Battery life is definitely something to be concerned about, especially when you watching a movie, 2.5 hour movie, it's not going to make it. If you're on a 5-hour plane, you're not going to make it. So Apple definitely have to find a way, third-party companies have to find a way to give you better battery life. Now, I get that's going to be an extra charge. But listen, at the end of the day, this is the first generation. That means if you want to hold off until 2025, until the second generation, it's going to be a whole lot better, a whole lot faster. Battery life is going to be a whole lot better. Hold off. Let this generation come out. We need this. We need this technology. Apple is listen, if Samsung do it, then a lot of people are like, all right, Samsung is the first. Samsung is the first. Hip, hip, hooray. But Apple is doing it. Now, the Samsung fans feeling salty. Apple people is like, all right, cool. I'll give it a try. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel salty if you're on the Android ecosystem. Praise the tech. If you're a tech enthusiast, praise it. Let's have some fun about it. All right, let me get out of here. Wow. Man, another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast, baby. Oh, man. Y'all know I'm a preacher about tech every week. Every week, baby. Oh, I used to love this thing, man. I used to love this thing, man. I used to put my phone in here. You know what? I got a phone over there that'll work. I'm gonna have to go on and pop a video out about this, man. I got a phone. I think my phone will still work with this thing, man. I think my phone will still work with this thing, man. This was cool, man. Like you had, your controls right there, man. You get to see a virtual world, 3D world, man. This was cool, man. I like this. All right, let's get out of here, man. We're going to see y'all next week. Same bat place, same bat time, baby. Oh, yes, baby. Oh, yeah. Don't y'all know I hold on to a lot of tech, man. And so the first thing that I did when Apple announced the Vision Pro, I pulled out my Samsung glasses, man. I'm like, damn, I still got them. They still look brand new too, man. Oh man, I have a rack on the side of my wall that hold all my some of my tech product and my headphones, and these were sitting on the wall. Now it was a little dusty, but yeah, man. I mean, they was great, man. I mean, 30 minutes of battery life. That's all I got on it, man. Me and Albert, man, we used to live there and be all over the place with it, man. But man, it is what it is. But we gonna get out of here. Thank y'all guys very much, man. I really do appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast. See y'all next week. Same bat place, same bat time, baby. Later.